As fetal membranes, what are extraembryonic membranes, why they are called fetal membranes, and how many types of these membranes are. They are called fetal membranes because they develop during fetal life, during which there is the development or formation of embryo. Okay, and why there is the need of these membranes? Because these membranes provide nutrition, do nourishment, do respiration, store nitrogen based material of the developing embryo. So as we know that during the development of embryo, only one part of zygote forms actual or proper embryo and other layers get developed into extraembryonic membranes. So there is a group of vertebrates which contain extraembryonic membranes, that is called amniotes, and which does not contain extraembryonic membranes are known as anamniotes. Okay, so we have to remember the examples. Amniotes are which contain extraembryonic membranes. They are reptiles, bird, mammals, and anamniotes are amphibians, fishes, cyclostome, that is Petromazon, which does not contain extraembryonic membranes. From where they develop extraembryonic membranes? Organisms develop extraembryonic membranes from germ layer that are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm during the fetal life. Okay, and you know they are responsible for the protection, respiration, nutrition for the developing embryo. Types of extraembryonic membranes. There are 4 types of extraembryonic membranes: amnion, chorion, allantois, and yolk sac. Okay, you have to remember from where they developed. Amnion and chorion develops from somatoplure, that is outer ectoderm layer and inner mesoderm layer. Okay, amnion and chorion develops from outer ectoderm layer and inner mesoderm layer known as somatoplure. Allantois and yolk sacs develop from outer mesoderm layer and inner endoderm layer known as, that is subplanktonopleure. Okay, so development of amnion and chorion starts after the first day of incubation. Ectoderm and mesoderm, that is somatoplure, arises in the front of head fold and tail fold. Okay, and here we can see that the tail fold arises, and the posterior side there is a arise of tail fold. These both head fold of amnion and tail fold, they get fuses and forms a connection known as seroamniotic connection. Here is the yolk sac. This is the ectoderm, endoderm known as somatoplure, and there is a mesoderm and endoderm form subplanktonopleure. Okay, head fold and tail fold get fuses and form the seroamniotic connection. Here we can see that head fold and tail fold get fuse and they form seroamniotic connections. The outer layer fold, that is outer ectoderm, and inner mesoderm, that forms chorion. Here we can see that outer ectoderm layer and inner mesoderm forms chorion, and inner layer, that is outer mesoderm and inner ectoderm, that forms amnion. Okay, so it is the embryo which is getting developed. Okay, so amnion encloses within the cavity known as amniotic cavity. This is the amnion and it is this cavity. This one is this known as amniotic cavity, and it contains amniotic fluid, which is very important, and it protects the developing embryo. Okay, so both amnion and chorion protects the developing embryo. Amnion never take part in placenta formation, but chorions take part in the placenta formation. It may be asked which extraembryonic membranes take part in the extra development of the placenta. Okay, the amnion never take part in the placenta formation, but chorion take part in the placenta formation. And how allantois is formed? It is developed from endoderm plus mesoderm folding known as subplanktonopleure. Okay, and it also take part in the placenta formation, and its main function is to provide nutrition, okay, protection, respiration, and main is the allantois sac is present, which stores the nitrogenous based material of the developing embryo. A blind outgrowth develops from the ventral region of the yolk sac. You can see this is the yolk sac, and it is a yolk sac, and this outgrowth is growing. Okay, this is known as allantois. Okay, it is a content developed from mesoderm and endoderm. This it begins at the 4th day of incubation and completed till the 10th day of incubation, and this is lined by mesoderm and endoderm. So this allantois grows up and it covers the amnion. It will cover the amnion and forms the allantoid cavity. Here we can see that this is the yolk, this is the allantois. It develops and it covers the amnion, and there is a formation of allantoid cavity. Okay, so next is how the yolk sac is formed. Yolk sac is also formed like that. There is the outgrowth developed from the yolk region, and it get attached to the embryo with the called yolk sac, and yolk sac is the important source of diet for developing embryo. Okay, yolk sac does not completely surround the yolk. It leaves the small gap. It थोड़ा सा gap रह जाता है from which the albumin protein is absorbed. Yolk sac is lined by inner endoderm and outer mesoderm, similarly like somnolactinoplure. Okay, so the yolk sac secretes the digestive enzymes like amylase, lipase, protease. Amylase digest carbohydrates, lipase digest lipids, and protease digest proteins, and after that they get absorbed. The absorption takes by diffusion process, and after later stages that occurs by capillary network. Yolk, जैसे there is the absorption of yolk, it decreases, and growth of embryo and finally absorbed in the midgut of the embryo. The yolk decreases. What is the function of extraembryonic membrane? Function of amnion and chorion. And the main function of amnion is to protect embryo from desiccation. Okay, it contains amniotic fluid which can act as a cushion to protect the embryo from mechanical shocks. So for normal development of embryo, there is necessity to have a liquid fluid medium that is provided by the amniotic fluid, and amniotic muscles responsible for the rocking of the embryo in the amniotic fluid, and amnion and chorion isolate the embryo from the shell of the egg. Amnion and chorion contains normal pH for developing fetus. Chorions take part in the placenta formation, whereas amnion does not take part in the placenta formation. Function of allantois. Allantois plus chorion forms allantochorions, and it is act as an extraembryonic lung responsible for gaseous exchange. Allantoic sacs store nitrogenous waste like uric acid. Okay, so it is important that in egg-laying amniotes, which sac stores the nitrogenous waste, that is allantoic sac. It provides nourishment, and it also takes part in the placenta formation in mammals. Yolk cells secrete yolk. Okay, and secrete digestive enzyme, and it is a diet source like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and lipids are digested by the enzymes like maltase, proteinase, lipase. So in the case of marsupial, yolk sac and chorion take part in the placenta formation. Okay, so this was about extraembryonic membranes and how they are formed. Thank you.